But what are you saying? I cried. That even Methuselah was a school? That it was all part of the plan? Then why not just go out and cause evil? Is Satan in league with Jehovah? Did they shake hands in the beginning, the one to torment and the other to redeem, like a pair of con men? Why, if anything is redeemable, is it not sin, then, to sin? And is it the privilege of children to suffer? Were these Nazis prankish schoolboys? And why did you even come to me then? Why did you interrupt my pains? Were they not good schooling for me? Would it not be good schooling for the German to suffer from me? Where is the boundary to suffering? When is it enough? When does it cease being good? All through my great wind and fire of feeling and words, the good European sat patiently, but with a look of profound sadness and understanding in his Sagittarian eyes that finally disarmed me. And with cold, pure, clear words he replied, "There is so much I have seen, dear friend, so many wonderful, redeeming things. Oh, how I yearn to laugh with you, another friend, another honey-gatherer. Oh, friend, could we not laugh some more as we were just minutes ago? Alas, there will be time enough for that. Come, let us return up those wretched stairs. My Zarathustra has too long gone down. Why not finally go up again?" And as we reclaimed the old steps at Methuselah, he spoke calmly and seriously. "I hope you would agree that the purpose of pot-making is not to slime one's hands, but to create something beautiful. Nor is it the purpose of painting to ruin one's smock. All good things come from mud and slime. All good things were redeemed from the evil. But does that make evil any more desirable in itself? For you, all this pain will be nothing until you take it into your life and write it into a book for others. I'm sure you understand. Pots are finished by adding more clay, which at first is bulbous and ugly, but is over time smoothed into a greater whole. But the woman who does not finish her pots we must call a bad potter. Granted, some of her clay is far easier to work with, being better or more refined material, while some is worse and poorer, so much so that any potter would throw their hands in the air, angry and frustrated. I surmised this was the case with many men, that many men were unworkable or limited clay, that is, until I met a true master of sculpture, the genius artist of men, the potter whose hands can turn the worst clay into magnificent Grecian vases surpassing anything seen on earth. But here then is what you ask, in a parable of sorts. There was once a father who flung his young children into a lake to forcibly teach them to swim. He did not want his children to grow up sick and whining, therefore he initiated suffering for them for their own good. But could these young children have agreed to this plan? Did they ever choose to suffer in this way? Where is the recorded ordinance of their covenant with such a father? Indeed, clay does not care whether it is a lump or a jar, but children most certainly do care what they are put through, what they are made into, what we try to make them into. Here is another parable. Suppose that a scientist, by means unknowable to us now, successfully generated sentient life forms in his laboratory. Indeed, more than this, intelligent agents with free will and complex thought capable of communicating effectively with human beings. This scientist then began breeding the creatures in a terrarium, and for their own benefit and learning, would generate natural disasters for their environment, and would rarely intervene to help them even when they murdered and raped each other. No. He would simply observe and record their progress, and at night he had to place the terrarium inside a soundproof room so that their lamentations would not wake him from sleep. Now, even if the scientist succeeded in fostering spiritual and moral growth in his creations, would he still be justified, much less lauded? For every one of those beings could cry in justified anger that their God had no right to create them, no right to make sensitive beings in a painful world, much less to cause and allow pain to befall them, regardless of the end, for they had no say in it. It was not their choice to come. Well then, Here is your question, my friend. Is this not God? I tell you, no. For our God did not so create us. For we wandered in dark and cold spaces, through swamps and dreary mists, wrapped in homely jackets and scarves, warming our hands by driftwood fires, eating the scraps left by buzzards, gnawing the marrow out of bones, unwashed, sick, and silent. When one night a man in white and beige, beard trimmed, skin clean, and tastefully fragrant, not overdressed, not pretentious, but self-respecting, confident, kind, and generous too, for upon seeing a group of us there on the shore of dark and brooding waters, he blew a magnificent horn, and there gathered around us a whole host of beautiful men and women, enrobed and ennobled, laughing and jolly. They brought us new clothes and fresh food and warm blankets and supplies, and with patient smiles endured our bad humor and rude manners. Finally the time came when they had to go, and one among us asked, "How, noblemen, did you become this way, so clean, so great and happy and profound?" And the foremost among them smiled, his eyes deep and blue as a clear summer's zenith roof, but crinkled with unfathomable age and suffering. Those eyes caused the inquiring spirit to quiver and shake at the heights and abysses held within them, and then implied in his invitation, "The way is not easy," said the man in white, "but if you truly desire, I can teach you how to become as we are."